power distribution failure. And looks like we got a puzzle. All right. Okay, so we need a proper combination of colors in each row in the columns on the left side, so that the lights on the columns on the right side turn green. You manipulate the left part of the column with the up arrow, and the right part with the down arrow. That. So the first column needs to be yellow and red. All right. Second column needs to be red and yellow. Third column needs to be green and red, which it isn't. Yellow, red, green, red, red, yellow. Fourth column needs to be red and yellow. Okay, so as you can see, I have the right side of the columns perfectly set. What you're going to need to do is you're going to need to work backwards to make sure when you change the colors with the left and right arrows, or especially the left arrows, you match the colors up with the correct sequence. So, using the up arrow, which is going up. Green. Red, red, and yellow.
Well, that should do it. Now I should go back to the communications center and download the spirit radio frequencies.
And hopefully avoid these spiders. Touch the bees. Now back to the communications center. Okay, here we are back at communications. What we're going to need to do. See, lights are green here. Morlock up ahead is still staring at us. Now to download the spirit radio frequencies. Unfortunately, it's another puzzle. So, this time, we're going to need to make way for the signal to travel from the bottom right satellite to the upper Tesla satellite dish. We can modify the orbit of the other satellites by clicking on either them or their orbits, the circles. So, modify the first orbit. The nearest satellite is sending the signal to the left.
The oscilloscopes on the spirit radio each need to have both the frequency and amplitude adjusted. The lines will start white and then turn yellow once the amplitude or frequency is correct. Once the desired frequency is achieved, the line will turn blue and the operator can move on to the next oscilloscope. There are 3 stages to the spirit radio. Once complete, the operator will be able to make contact with the dead.
Let's go ahead and take a close look at the at this whole thing. So as we see, we're on a time limit. To set the frequencies, use the 3 control knobs. The first knob adjusts the frequency, the second knob adjusts amplitude, and the third knob adjusts the oscilloscope being manipulated. There's 3 stages. Current stage is yellow. Completed stage is green. Adjust all 3 oscilloscope screens to the critical frequency for each stage.
After I downloaded the Spirit radio frequencies, it was time for me to leave the Tesla Legacy Society and visit Mantis at the Swamp House to find out the exact location of the Tesla egg.
Alright, so that is the end of the Tesla Society building. I hate you building. I never want to see you again. I never want to come back here again. I never want to experience bees or Morlocks.
Day 10. The 10th day. V for vengeance. Or Towers and Infernos.
After Tesla, I headed straight back to the Swamp House to talk to Mantis. Now that I had the Spirit radio frequencies, maybe he would disclose the location of the Tesla egg.
I'm losing control! Here, take the instruction. Only one way to destroy the coil. Use the power against itself. You must take the egg there. One frequency market found it. You have to do it now. I'm losing control. Oh! Spirit radio resonance will split the coil in pieces.
Mantis, you gotta hold it together.
I can't.
You gotta tell me where the egg is.
The egg is at Court Tower! Court Tower! Just do me a favor. You tell Slade to meet you there, because he's gonna pay for what he's done to me. I'm gonna kill him! Just have him meet me!
Mantis gives me instructions and hands me a Geiger counter, which he says will help reveal the location of the egg at Coit Tower.
Mantis said the Tesla egg was hidden at Coit Tower. We better find him before someone else does.
Alright, here we are back at our office on Chandler Avenue, and we have a couple of new items.
The oscilloscopes on the Spirit radio each need to have both the frequency and amplitude adjusted. The lines will start white and then turn yellow once the amplitude or frequency is correct. Once the desired frequency is achieved, the line will turn blue and the operator can move on to the next oscilloscope. There are 3 stages to the Spirit radio. Once complete, the operator will be able to make contact with the dead.
And here we have a Geiger counter wand.
This Geiger wand will help me find the Tesla egg. It'll beep louder when I'm approaching the egg.
Alright then. So, let's take a look at our Mike and I Hammer Candy comic collection. And we're missing one! Oh man! Honestly, we should have all of them by now, but we don't. We're missing one. There's a big freaking gray hole where there should be a Mike and I Hammer Candy comic. So, you know, that's my bad there. So, now we need to head towards Coit Tower. But I'm thinking before we do, let's see if anybody has any new information to give us.
You know, it used to really piss me off, the way you'd always come around asking your questions, but now that you're paying me for it, I really don't mind.
Okay, so we have no new things to ask anybody. So all we need to do is head up to Coit Tower, see if we can find that Tesla egg. Oh, you hear that ticking?
They're shipping containers. It's nearly impossible to lift the lids on these without anti-gravity lifts. Maybe they're shipping containers. It's nearly impossible to lift the lids on these without anti-gravity lifts. Maybe I can find a set around here.
So we need to find some anti-gravity lifts. Let's take a look around. Oh hey, I didn't notice this before.
It's a pair of anti-gravity lifters. The half-life of Weenie World burgers is at least 20 years.
All right.
It's a pair of anti-gravity.
Pair of anti-grav lifters, so we'll go ahead and open up these containers here.
I took the elevator to the top and waited for Slade, according to Manus' instructions.
Hello, mate. What you got there?
The stuff bad dreams are made of.
Looks like the Tesla egg.
Well, this is like the worst designed doorstop ever.
Oh, I beg to differ. It's like a little piece of plutonium in an atomic bomb. You know the effects it had on you, dreams, visions of Donnelly? Apparently that's just a hint of what it's capable of.
Come on, Slade, you're not buying into this crap, are you?
Between you and me, I don't think it'll work. But the translator does. And he's promised us a big payout for this egg. And if one person's willing to pay that kind of money, there's usually others willing to pay more. So let's have it, partner.
Uh-oh. Okay, so we have a choice here. Give him the egg or destroy it. Well, I didn't come all this way to freaking destroy the egg. So let's just go ahead and give it to him. And so ends the life of Big Jim Slade and the poor, poor life of Todd Bridges. But hey, the egg's fine.
Manus finally got his revenge, and Slade got what he deserved.
Poor guys. Alright. Let's see what we can do with this Tesla egg. Oh, hey, it's not even in our inventory. Well, what a rip. Not much to do except go back to our office. It's like a calm before the storm, you know?
Murphy!
Not again.
Day 11. The 11th day. This immortal coil, or Apocalypse Pow!
I lay in a semi-conscious state, hearing fragments of conversation between Dalton and some other guy. I'm transported to a location in New Mexico where underground nuclear testing experiments were carried out in the 1950s. I remember a map where all the Titan reactors around the world were linked together to one location, the launch pad of the immortal coil. Time to play up my last hand.
Guy really needs to wear a helmet. Keeps getting hit in the head too much.
Do you have to sneak up on people all the time?
You see that rather large, old-fashioned looking piece of equipment? That was your home for a very long time.
Well, I don't believe him.
Yeah, that's how I got here from my home planet, Altair 4.
And you have the egg. Wonderful. I must confess, I'm surprised to see you. Dalton and Slade were convinced that you'd never bring the egg here voluntarily.
Well, it wasn't exactly voluntarily, but, you know, I have my reasons.
I want my memory back. This is the only way.
Still, unlike me, they knew you way back when they used words like idealist, naive.
Dartboard, punching bag.
I've always been an idealist myself. But I find it's the pragmatists like Dalton and Slade who get things done. Without Dalton, I wouldn't be here. And Dalton wouldn't have had the opportunities he did if Slade hadn't helped him rise through the ranks of Gideon Enterprises.
And Slade wouldn't be here if I hadn't returned the favor and got him out of prison.
Well, I guess good behavior's ruled out.
Well, I knew it wasn't good behavior. I mean, what part was I playing in this evil little cabal?
Surely by now you know that you were J.T. Donnelly. Protector, hired gun and confidant of Nikola Tesla?
That's a little incredulous, don't you think?
What? Are you saying I'm J.T. Donnelly? Right.
You don't believe me. But how do you explain your visions of Donnelly's life?
Well, I think it's the Tesla egg. Donnelly hid it in the wall of the apartment. I didn't even start having the dreams until I moved in.
The spirit radio allows us to communicate with the dead, not the egg. The egg merely amplifies it.
Yeah? Well, I had a radio. I mean, there are other explanations, but I got to admit they all sound insane to me.
And yet you can't deny the visions. The egg may have had an effect on your subconscious, your spiritual DNA. But you weren't receiving messages, you were remembering. Everything has led to this. A reunion of consciousness. But not just for you, for us all. This is what Tesla intended. his death ray, the spirit radio, the Tesla egg, all brought together to create a celestial conduit, the immortal coil, that will redeem and purify this depraved planet and create a literal heaven on earth, true immortality, timelessness, no sickness, death, or pain. All needs met and achieved through the genius of Tesla! Tex, if you would be so kind as to step out there and place the egg. Where's Slade?
No idea.
Mortal Kombat!
Tex, you have come here seeking answers through the spirit radio. Please do so. But you'll only have a few minutes. Then none of the answers will matter because the world will be reborn.
Margaret! Margaret Leonard, can you hear me?
Oh, it's so cold. So dark and so empty. Is there someone there? I feel a presence.
It's me, Tex Murphy. I'm trying to contact you through the spirit radio. You've got to help me, Margaret.
I can hear you, but you sound so far away. Tex? Tex? I can't see anything, but I can hear you. I have no sensation. It's as though I'm floating in a void. Where am I?